I want to talk about the prosecution's job in this particular case because Lori Daybell is representing herself.
Yeah.
How does that change the game for a prosecutor?
Uh, Pro se cases are a prosecutor's worst nightmare. And I think that's counterintuitive sometimes to the public, but as a
You think it'd be a
prosecutor,
walk in the park because they don't know what
yeah,
they're doing.
yeah, you think it is, but in reality, the appellate courts view it much more strictly. You want to make sure the jury doesn't think you're beating up on somebody. There's a natural sympathy, at least initially. I think Lori will wear that out pretty quickly with this jury, but there is a natural sympathy that goes on in a courtroom in front of a judge where the person's pro se. So the prosecutor has to walk that fine line between being a zealous and tough advocate and always appearing fair and always making sure that they are showing how balanced and even-handed. It's a little different handling objections when you've got opposing counsel. When you've got a pro se person who doesn't know how to do it, you have to be real careful on how you handle it. And trials always take longer. So in this case, you got an extremely experienced, highly competent prosecutor, a very experienced judge. And I think you're going to see a lot of patience and a lot of deference being shown Lori Vallow. And that's to protect the record because the goal is to convict her and convict her once.
Fascinating. So you're saying that when the prosecutor has to decide whether to object or not on certain things that Lori Daybell might question or oppose. I mean, how do you weigh that when in the back of your mind you clearly know she's going against the rules? Is it pick your battles, just kind of let it go, a mix of both?
Yeah, when a pro se defendant objects, I always just sit back and say, okay, is this really hurting me? Which is hard to suppress because most prosecutors are rule followers. And when it violates the rules, it bothers you. It's kind of like a situation where you just know it's wrong, but you have to let more go than you would normally let go. And you only do it if you think it's hurting you or if it's so egregious it could cause a reversal.
Have you ever seen a pro se defendant win?
I have not. I have not. What I have seen is courts of appeals scrutinize the trial judges very closely.
Hmm.
This judge is a very experienced judge. The Maricopa team knows what they're doing. I think it may be frustrating to observers and listeners because it's going to feel like Lori's getting away with stuff. But it's really just people dotting their I's, crossing their T's, and making sure that there's no reason to send this back.
So for those of us watching, those viewers over the next few weeks that are like, why doesn't the judge get her in line? Why does he allow that? You're saying he really wants to protect himself and be careful as well.
Yeah, the court will work hard to protect the record, protect any outcome on the case, and that means they're going to show Lori a lot of patience.